I am tired of people coming and telling us what to do with our minerals. I am tired of people coming and telling us what to do with our food.
Right.
Like, it's about time that we take charge of our home. But 17 years ago, I didn't know where Romania was. I was very scared. This is a country that actually supports women. I felt really happy to be here, not knowing the history, not knowing anything about the country, but just seeing how I felt like it was equal opportunities to each the sexes.
Okay.
I was quite excited. Years back, I would have a racial experience, really like proper racial profiling. And I remember we got attacked in Piazza Universitate by a group of skinheads, as I would call them, and they attacked us for being black.
Right.
We got insulted quite a bit. I remember we would be called Maimutsa, which means monkey.
Oh, shame.
Or they would call us a crow.
Hello friends and family, we're back here with a special guest, a doctor from Kenya, and we're going to talk about a lot of things, and I think that you want to stay tuned onto this podcast. We made it happen. Finally, she's here, a beautiful lady. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to Dr. Maria
Bayerl.
Thank you so much. Save me.
Because people have a problem pronouncing my name, right?
Yeah.
And so when I say Maria, that's okay. Maria, we can handle it. And the Bayerl part is a little bit tricky.
Okay.
And so I am Dr. Maria Bayerl, and thank you for having me in your podcast. I'm so excited to talk to you, to talk to your audience, you know, to share a little bit about our journey here, especially my journey here. So thank you for having me.
No, you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
It's nice to have you here on the podcast. And like I said, it's going to be an amazing one. So let's get straight into it. I want to get to know about you. So who is Dr. Maria?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I am Dr. Maria Bayerl, as you have very beautifully introduced me.
Right.
I am of Kenyan origin, and I have been in Romania for the past 17 years. I came here and I never left.
Wow.
Those are those stories like, you know, you came to a person's house, you saw that the food was good, and you went and got into the bedroom and never left.
Right.
And that was the same thing with me. I came to Romania in 2007, the end of 2007. I had a scholarship to do medicine.
Wow.
At that time, Romanian government was in good partnership with my country, and so I was able to secure a scholarship. And if you know, in Africa, education is very important. Our parents always want us to either be a doctor, an engineer, an architect, or a pilot, you know, those big careers. And so when I got this scholarship, I was very excited because I could imagine getting the financial weight out of my parents. That was a burden for my parents. And I was very happy to get the scholarship because I know, at least in terms of my education, that's a stress that I have relieved them from. So then I came to Romania, and that has been history. 17 years, so Romania is home for me.
Wow. Just amazing to look at your story and then how far you came to be here. And I want to ask you, and you can tell us, obviously, what were the odds that you had to face? I mean, in Kenya, you can't just get a scholarship when you're not so focused, or you're probably really like smart.
Actually, I'm going to contradict you on that.
Right.
Because like I am also I am a Christian, and I believe in God, and so I think sometimes God puts things on your way and opens doors on your ways that you cannot understand as a human being. So that's what we say. I finished my A levels and I got good grades, and I have a cousin of mine who's also a doctor and married to a Romanian, so she lives in Cluj. Okay. So as we're talking and trying to figure out where am I going to do medicine, because I was very passionate about doing medicine, and it was either do medicine or do law. I didn't do law because I knew I was a troublemaker. As you can see, I'm very vocal. Okay. And in Africa, troublemakers, troublemakers don't have a very long lifeline. Yeah. In troublemakers, you're a troublemaker and you're...
Yes, you're gone. Okay, that's true. I know that.
So my parents are like, oh, you're a troublemaker. We don't want you to go on that side. We don't want policemen coming. And, we're seeing our daughter on TV with tear gas behind her. So it was either law or medicine. I love both. Right. And so we started looking for scholarship in different countries. And Romania came out. And I went incidentally and saw the ambassador then. and he gave me a scholarship on spot.
Wow.
So we were at the ambassador on Friday. By Friday the following week, I was on my way to Romania, not knowing where Romania was. No pun intended. I didn't know where Romania was.
Wow.
You know, when you're growing up, the countries that we know about is Germany, America, the UK, Australia, big countries, China even, you know, India.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you're telling this young girl you're going to Romania, I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah.
Where is Romania?
That's crazy. Wow.
That was then. Yeah. Right now, I think, especially us being a global village, we know about literally all the countries. But 17 years ago, I didn't know where Romania was. I was very scared. I got my scholarship. I'm in the plane. It was around, I think, summertime. Actually, we were going into autumn. So I came to Romania in October 2007.
Oh, wow.
And I was dressed like an onion.
Oh, wow.
So I had my polo neck.
Right.
I had my grandma's sweater.
Ready for the winter?
I was ready for winter. I had my coat. And I had like my watchman, like you know, like the guards who sit out in the night and you know, they have like a fire in front of them.
Yeah.
And so I had such a jacket. Like I was prepared for winter. Nah. Dude, it was 30 degrees.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you're coming out of the plane and the shock of the heat and you're like, what? Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
And something's funny, and I always say this in every time I have an occasion. So we had these toilets, and they were automatic sensor toilets.
Right.
Actually, not the sensor toilet, the sensor tap.
Okay.
So I want to wash my hands.
Yes.
I don't know.
Wow.
Like I'm looking at the water, and I'm like, where does the water come from? And so I see this lady who does moves her hands in front of the sensor. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, okay. So that's how this works. Yeah. I was 18. I was a baby.
Yeah, wow. Coming from Africa and experience things was pretty new for you. But what a journey. That's something that's really nice to know about it. What was your first reaction when you got here into Romania?
I was excited to see so many white people. I was like, hey.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Yeah. I was like...
You felt like you were the village girl?
Yeah. I actually never grew up in the village. I grew up in Nairobi city, so we had a lot of white people.
Okay.
But you know, when you come out and you're like, we have a saying in my country, umeomoka. Umeomoka means like, now I'm out there.
All right.
Like right now, it's my time to shine, you know? I'm going to send pictures. At that time it was Facebook. I'm going to send pictures, voila. And so I was so excited to be here. And I saw a lot of women driving buses and the tramway, and I was like, oh, wow. So this is a country that actually supports women. I felt really happy to be here, not knowing the history, not knowing anything about the country, but just seeing how I felt like it was equal opportunities to the sexes. Okay. I was quite excited about literally all the countries. But 17 years ago, I didn't know where Romania was. I was very scared. I got my scholarship. I'm in the plane. It was around, I think, summertime. Actually, we were going to the airport. I got lost in Craiova, came back to Bucharest. But that's a journey of making you tough and welcoming you into the country. Wow.
So you went to Craiova. And do you want to tell us about the story?
Yeah, why not? So the thing is, so when you're watching all these American movies, you have someone with a board waiting there and written your name, Chibwe Stone. Let's proceed, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking. Maria, no one has a board for me. So I figured the university is going to send someone to come and pick me up. Not in Romania. So my school was in Craiova. Ideally, that's where I got the scholarship to study. So I had to go to Craiova. And I took a taxi from the airport to Gara de Nord. And I think the taxi charged me like 50 euros, which is right now, at that time, 50 euros was a lot of money.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
And then the train to Craiova, I think, was 100. But at that time, we used to have really people in the airport and in the train station who would really take advantage of tourists and of people who don't know the system. Because instead of paying maybe 20 euros, you pay 50. Instead of paying 20 lei, you pay 100. Okay. Right? So we had a lot of scammers back in the day. And so I'm in the train. I'm going to Craiova because I know that's where my school is, right? And I ask in the train, is this Craiova? And they tell me yes. So I don't know where that was. I stopped in between. And that time, I'm telling you, I have carried my bags. I had my blankets, I had my curtains, I had my pans, I had my pots, I had Kenyan food. I had like 3 bags. Wow. And so I got off at the wrong station. And then I had to wait again hours. And that time, you've not eaten anything. You wait for hours and then another train comes. So long story short, I get to Craiova to university and it's closed.
Oh, no.
And it's Saturday and it's 9 o'clock.
No ways.
So this kind taxi gentleman sees me crying and tells me, can I help you? And I said, can I please call? And so I called my auntie because I didn't know anyone in Romania. I called my aunt who was in a different country, and my aunt kept me in contact with Kenyan ladies that in between time she got contacts from other ladies because I was lost. My family was looking for me. Because I landed into the country at 8 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock in the evening. Where is this girl? No one knows where she is, right?
No communication.
She just disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
I'm lucky it's not like at the movies where the taxi driver takes you somewhere and then before you know it, your head is chopped and stuff. I know. Jokes. But he was kind and so he drove me back to Bucharest. Wow. And when he drove back to Bucharest, he dropped me at the hostels where the Kenyan girls were.
Oh, right.
And so that has been history. So it was baptism by fire. It was a shock baptism. But look at that, 17 years still
17
here.
Years still here.
I'm here.
Something.
And I ain't going nowhere.
No way. Jeez. So you seem to love Romania.
Right.
And tell me why. What got you here?
I came to Romania as a girl.
Right.
And I am a woman now.
Okay.
So my womanhood has been in Romania.
Right.
Romania gave birth to the woman that I am.
I understand. Yeah.
Right? So for me, Romania is my home. Because when you're a child, your parents give you that warmth.
Yeah.
Romania has done that for me. So the good, the bad, the ugly, the best, everything that you can bring in one pot, Romania gave me. And I feel like it played an integral part in shaping me to who I am till now. When people look at Romania and say it's Eastern Europe, this and that, if you work hard and if you're focused and you do your craft very well, I think it has really wonderful potential to take you to the next level, whatever it is that you want.
Wow. I cannot top that. That's just wise words coming from the doctor. And it's such a great honor to have you here on the podcast.
Thank you.
Well, she's spitting fire all the way, friends and family. We're so excited. And we're going to go into the second question. Just keep flowing with the conversation. So the journey to becoming the doctor, where you are right now, what did it take away from you? You might talk about the hours and hours of, preparation into exams and everything like that. How long? Because I know when you want to be a doctor, it's almost like 6 years in the university. Right. Yeah.
Medicine is one of those careers that is, you always read. It never stops. The reading never stops. It takes sacrifices. It takes commitment. Big respect to anyone who's married to a doctor or is with someone who's in the medicines, in the sciences, because it really takes a lot of our time. And sometimes other areas of our lives can be neglected. Family, children, husbands, marriages, because it's hard to find that balance. Like I remember not knowing the language. I had days where you have to study the whole night. Right. And I was lucky enough to have a very good, strong group of friends who would read with me. Because you remember you're doing a very hard course in a language that's not your own.
That's true.
Yeah. Just to let the audience know that I'm very fluent in Romanian.
Oh, yeah. Well, she speaks very good Romanian, actually.
Yeah. So. I'm very fluent in Romanian. So you're doing medicine in a language that's not your own, and you have to concentrate, and you also have to get good grades, right? And it was hard. It was really hard. There are days I would call my parents and tell them, listen, what happened? Why did you bring me here? Did I do a mistake? This is too hard for me. I want to quit. But at the back of your head, you always remember failure is not a part and it's not an option. You came here to generate wealth.
Come on.
You came from your home, you've left your home, you've left your troubles there to come here. So failure is not an option. And I think this is something that many Africans can relate to. Right. I see it, when I have these conversations with my Caucasian friends, I don't really understand, but I think it's a very African thing. Africans raise other Africans. We help each other. Like the way you and I have connected and we've made like a small network around here. This is what we do.
Wow.
And we want to help the other Africans back at home.
That's right.
So failure is not an option.
Wow.
Failure is not an option for you. It's not an option for me. Because they're looking at us. those people in the village are looking at us.
That's true. That's right. That's
yeah.
right.
So failure is not an option. So when you're feeling tired and you're feeling that you're going to give up, know that someone is looking at you. It could be one person, two people, but you're role models to people unintentionally or intentionally out there. So you have to always remember, it's not just about you. Wow. It's about a whole community that is looking upon you.
Wow. I love this podcast because my brain is just opening up and I'm getting to learning a lot of things coming from a doctor. And I just want to ask you, pose a question for you. What is your take on black tax? We're talking about giving back and it's a blessing. And it's a lovely thing to do.
Yeah.
What is your take on the whole black tax? Is there a way we can find a solution that we can empower the next generation and anything like that?
Absolutely. There's so many things. You know, they have a saying that they say, educate a woman and you've educated a whole nation.
Right.
I think educate a child with purpose and you educate a whole nation. It doesn't matter whether it's a woman or not. Africa is ripe.
Right.
And I am tired of Africa being raped.
Come on.
I am tired of people coming and telling us what to do with our ore, with our minerals. I am tired of people coming and telling us what to do with our food. Right. Like, it's about time that we take charge of our home. If we cannot do it, let the younger generation do it. We are tech savvy. We are brilliant. We are... Like, when I come into contact with such brilliant minds, I get goosebumps.
Right.
I get goosebumps and I get so upset because someone dwindled a carrot in front of me and I forget right in front of me is a whole garden of carrots. So I'm going to be blinded by a carrot here and forget the garden in front. And this is what's happening to us. They're stripping us of our dignity, stripping us of our livelihood. And we have to say stop, and that's enough. And another thing, Chibwe, I think we need to go home.
No, that's right.
We need to go home and build home.
We have to.
Like all this gorgeousness is here.
For sure.
We need to go back home. Like Wudemaya says, it's the time right now to go back to Africa.
That's right.
Build your nation. Fight for your nation. If it's corruption, we have to speak about it. If it's hospital, we have to demand for better hospitals. If it's schools, we have to make them build better schools. We have to take the bull with the horns and shake it.
Wow. Oh, that's so revolutionary. Wow, this is amazing. And I'm just happy that you were here. You touch in every aspect. You've been touching on politics right now. And it's just something that affects us, even if we don't want to probe into it. It's always going to affect us. And to try and eliminate the black tax, where we're always sending money back home and trying to get a leverage off that, it's going to be a mission if we actually don't stand up as Africans.
But I think it starts by one person.
Right.
I think it's always important to have that one person. If we have one person who starts this conversation, and the one person who believes that we have the potential to change it from this stereotypical black continent. Why do we even call us a black continent? So if you have one person who says, you know what, we can go back home and build our country. We don't need to depend on our politicians. We don't need to depend on our leaders.
That's right.
We can do it by ourselves. You see, like when I come to, I'll talk about Kenya because that's where I come from. The younger generation is eager to learn. It's eager to work. We want to build those tech centers. We want to build those companies. We want to build those industries. But they're let down somewhere. Because in my school, really, the minds are brilliant. And it breaks my heart. And so that's the reason why I work hard. Because it breaks my heart because you have someone who has gotten a grade A. I don't know how to equate that to the Zimbabwean system. But grade A means it's creme de la creme of your education. You're the best. And you find a lot of creme de la cremes, pushing go-karts. I don't know, we call them in my language, mkokoteni, carrying food, or just doing really odd jobs. Yet that's the person who's supposed to be building the nation.
That's right.
So I think we've failed, but failure is a platform of learning. So let's say it this way. And so that's why I take it upon myself. This is my choice to help and build. And I think if I do good, you pass it off and you do good as well.
That's amazing. Wow. What a leader. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is amazing. You're doing great. Okay, that's good. So we talked about you, obviously your journey to becoming a doctor, and you actually practicing, on your own now, and you've started your own business.
Right.
This is something really nice we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So Dr. Maria is going to tell us more about her business, and you're going to have to visit her. I have a couple of ladies actually who said, "Oh, this lady's actually interesting." I said, "Follow her."
Oh, and,
really? Definitely go to Dr. Maria.
She
is
so
the best
much.
in town.
Hey,
her clinic is
thank
the best.
you for the support.
No worries. So Doctor's going to tell us about her business. You go.
Yeah. So one thing I truly have to say is that Romania enabled me to be where I am, as I've already said it. So I transitioned from an ENT surgeon and I went to aesthetics. I went to aesthetics for different reasons. Number one, I'm a very big consumer of luxury. Okay. And number two, I like beauty, right? Yes. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Right. I am a black girl with short hair. And not these very specific features. And so I'm very confident in myself. No, you have and when I look at another woman, I want the woman to be confident as well. And I said, what can you do that? So when you come to my facility, when you come to my clinic, we never try to change you. We try to just make a better version of you. Right? So I'm very modest in my treatments, and I'm very conservative. When you come to my clinic, it's like a refuge. It's like a home. Right. We make you comfortable. We get to know you. You don't even necessarily have to do a treatment in our place. We want to know you. And if you fit with us, well and good. You don't fit with us, we recommend you to the next person who can be a fit for you. Because it's about making sure you get creme de la creme services from us, and by the time you leave in the door, you have very good services. So we are very service oriented in my facility, and please come and do visit. It is in Piazza Romana, Strada Balaban, numero 1, Kenya.Dr BAYERL Beauty Clinic.
Wow, amazing. We'll put
Sabenis Varog.
Da, te rog frumos. It's the best. I was there for the opening.
Thank you. Thank you Thank you so much for the support.
Please do make sure you go there. It's a nice place. Doctor will look after you.
Yeah.
And, make you the best version of yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, amazing. That's great. So we talked about your business. You're an entrepreneur. That's really nice. We're just gonna go. We really talked about it. Just bits and pieces of life in Europe. And I want to ask, I have a lot of questions for you.
Please,
so
go ahead.
Don't mind. So,
go ahead.
You can drink your tea, don't worry.
Yeah.
Do you experience segregation in your area of expertise? Might be in your working place.
I mean, that's a really nice way of sugarcoating it. Just say what you want to say. Like, I have had, not in the recent past.
Right.
In the years back, I would have a racial experience, really like proper racial profiling. And I remember we got attacked in Piazza Universitate by a group of skinheads, as I would call them, and they attacked us for being black. Nice. We got insulted quite a bit. I remember we would be called Maimutsa, which means monkey. Oh, shame. Or they would call us a crow.
When was that?
Chwara. That was back in the day, 2007, all the way to around 2010, 11.
Okay. Was it a bunch of school kids or?
I couldn't tell. I was living in fear. I was living in fear because I was never confident in myself. Right. Because when I was growing up, I never really saw myself as a woman of color. I saw myself as Maria, the daughter of my parents.
For sure.
So when I came here, they made me realize, oh wow, you're different. I till date never looked at color. So at that time, it was very difficult. Yeah. We didn't have the Schengen space. The European space was very closed. And so we didn't really have a lot of exposure. So I want to make a difference. There's racial profiling when someone is mean to you, when someone means harm to you, and someone wants to do something bad to you, and there's curiosity. Right. So I had both. Okay. Curiosity is when the child comes and touches you and says, "Mommy, why is she dark?" Yeah. And then I'd make a joke and say, "Oh, my mom forgot me in the sun and I got a suntan." Oh, yeah. That's curiosity. And we should not be sensitive to curiosity because they do not know. That's true. When someone is coming to touch my hair, I'm not going to be oversensitive and say, "Oh, wow, that's not nice." Yeah. They're curious. Right. I have no problem with curiosity because also when I go to a different culture, I am curious. But when you want to harm me, or when you want to be mean to me, or when you want to belittle me or put me down because of the color of my skin, then I think that's unfortunate. I have had, growing up in Romania, you get to find mechanisms of coping with that.
Right.
I believe like sometimes maybe I was a little bit aggressive and sometimes maybe I did overprotect myself, you know, because you already protect yourself in anticipation of not knowing what's coming. Okay. So maybe sometimes someone would be curious and I'm like, oh, no, please just don't take a picture of me, you know, like, please let me be, you know. But in hindsight, I think it was a combination of both. But in the recent past, I've not had any racial experiences. I have not had any problems in my work setting. I have not felt like I'm a person of color. Quite on the contrary, no. I feel like I've really integrated into the system, and many people have integrated into the system. Why the country has opened up. Wow. A lot of foreigners are coming in. A lot of tourists are coming in. Yeah. A lot of marriages are happening. Right. So it's not the same Romania that it was 10 years ago. Right. It's a different Romania.
Right. Wow, that's beautiful. I really liked how you talked about the curiosity part, because sometimes we just overreact. And, I experienced a kid and then was asking, "Mama, and then I was like, okay. I had to be nice, you know. But
especially children are innocent and they're really, bless their soul, curious. Yeah, you know, like I. In hindsight, had we known that, I think we could have even handled other situations better. But it's always a learning process.
That's right.
Yeah, and for me, I know I had wonderful experiences. My best friend is from Focșani, Octavian. Okay. And I remember the first time I went to Focșani in 2009 or 2010. Right. His grandmother called the whole village to see me. Oh, and they gave me food.
That's amazing.
If you saw me in 2009, I was very healthy. Yeah. I had very nice round
still
cheese.
Healthy. Yeah, come on.
No, healthy means I'm fat.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not fat anymore. But I had really very good appetite. You know, they're giving you pomana pocului, sarmale, mamaliga, you know, vin fier, țuica, palinka. I'm telling you, that village, by the time I was leaving it, I had so much food because everyone is like, and I even got a gentleman who was 70 proposed to me.
Oh,
hey, wow. I was hot cake.
Come on,
I was hot cake. I
don't want to say, but
I'm telling you,
they still look the same.
I'm telling you, at 70 years old, the guy said, "I need to marry this girl."
I'm for sure he was real. Like he was really serious.
Yeah. To move in the village in Focșani.
Could have been nice. I mean,
just now milking sheep. Moldovanka.
Wow.
Milking sheep. You know, Moldovanka are very dangerous girls, huh?
I like the confidence because they're really loud as well, and I think
I resonate with the Moldovanka. I always tell people, don't age soon Moldovanka. That in Romania, no Republica de Moldova.
Wow, they actually appreciate that because I find them really like engaging women as well.
Oh yes, they know what they know that shit. They know what they want. They know their value. Yeah, these are girls who know their value. Yeah,
that's beautiful. Wow, so. We have Doc here. Another thing, she's Moldovianka.
Moldovanka.
Wow, that's cool. That's really nice. So I'm sure they were mesmerized and curiosity, like you said, and the whole village had to come and see you. So let's just not be quick to judge and say, people don't. Okay, great, amazing. So the next one is, please enlighten us on the effects of social displacement. Just moving from Africa and probably settling in a new city. I think we talked about it, but just maybe a quick one.
It's bittersweet.
Right.
When you're leaving your country and you're in that plane, you're like, oh wow, I'm finally doing what I'd always wanted to do, leaving home and going for greener pastures. And when you come into the country, I've seen this, and this happens to a lot of people who cannot adjust to their new settings. It becomes quite challenging. You have very key factors that play in, weather, for example, or diet, nutrition, food, interpersonal connections. Right. And all these can trickle to whether or not you make it in a place. I recently was talking to a friend of mine who actually went into a very severe depression in America, whereas, you know, when you're growing up, you know, America is the land of milk and honey. Okay. with me, I had I was in a group. We came in from different countries, but at that time Romania was really issuing a lot of study bursaries to a lot of black people from Africa. So my roommate was from Cameroon, and I had roommates from Angola. And I think we made a sister brotherhood. And so we were all as a community, and that community somehow sheltered us and protected us from the outside world, because we would cook within ourselves, would go out within ourselves, we'd go to school together, we'd go to church together, we'd go on holidays together. So somehow that was helping us to cushion us a little bit from the different culture, because ideally it is a different culture. I came the first time to see snow. You know, it's the first time away from your parents. You have to pay bills. You have to be responsible. If you're given pocket money and you decide to burn your pocket money, that's it. You have to eat bread and water. So you have that shock of responsibilities of growing up, because you grow up immediately. It's not like you're growing up in stages. You have to grow up immediately. And so I think being in this sisterhood with all these colleagues, I think it helps quite a lot. And I think not so many people have that luxury of having this support system, but we had a support system that helped us able to pass. Some people were not able to withstand it. I know a lot of people dropped within the school years. Not so many people finished medical school out of 100%. So you have probability of around 60% of us clearing medical school, because it becomes hard.
I can imagine.
It's the language. It's far from home.
Nailed it. All the way from Africa, Kenya, a doctor. Great things happening in her life, business as well. Amazing words coming from the doctor. We're gonna wrap it up, and I've got more, just a few more questions. And that's really nice. We're just gonna try to talk about women. Just how can women empower themselves?
How can women empower themselves, and how can women empower women? Women. This is a very sensitive topic, because you will find the women who are very transparent and willing to help other women. And you will also find on this other side the different cohort of women who are really going out of their way to bring the women down. I would say first and foremost to my fellow women out there, select your friends very well. Take the right people. Like, you have to really pray about it and have the spirit of discernment and select the right people who you think are good for you. It takes time, it takes experience. I would rather have one friend who I know will be loyal to me than having 10 friends who I know are not going to be good for me. Friendships are things that are very important, but they're correct friends. What I would say to a young woman, right? Have a mentor. Have someone who's already done the journey. Have someone who's already gone in front of you. It's very important to have a mentor, because they really give you a lot of insight, knowledge, right? And prepare you a lot. I have a mentor. I actually have 3 mentors, and they're very instrumental in shaping me to the woman I am.
Really?
Have a mentor, yes. Break boundaries. Break the ceiling. Never say never. If you say I'm not educated enough, there are a lot of free courses out there. There are a lot of free courses, a lot of accessible courses. You can always learn a new craft. Not all of us are born to be doctors. Not all of us are born to be engineers. But whatever it is that you do, do it well. Do it perfectly. Is it cooking? Cook it. Be a cook to the highest degree. If it's drawing, be the best of the best. Shine in your field. Another thing, let no one ever tell you you cannot do it. So in my vocabulary, it doesn't exist. You cannot do it. You can fail in it. You can have hurdles in it, but you go on. Failure is not an option. This is my mantra. Failure is not an option. So whenever you feel a hurdle, hit a wall, break a glass, move forward, right? And be kind to each other. So for me, I'm always smiling. Even when you're mean to me, even when you're bad to me, I'm always, this is me. I can't change because of bad experiences.
That's beautiful.
I'm not going to change because of someone who wants to be, not appropriate to me. You keep it moving. So you be yourself and be the best version of yourself.
Wow. That's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm speechless, Doc, but thank you so much. We got another question is... dating in Africa and dating in Europe. I mean, you left Africa when you're about 18. But just maybe a brief brief.
I mean, I'm married to a white guy, so.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's where BAYERL comes from.
Okay,
so yeah.
I was about to try and link the dots. Yeah.
You date the person who understands you. You date the person that makes you smile. Right. You date the person that completes you. Color is not relevant. I had experiences with African brothers. I had experiences with white brothers. Yeah. I cried with African brothers. They made me cry. I cried with white brothers. Everyone made me cry. In fact, the other day I was checking on social media. They say Zimbabweans are the worst men to date in Africa. So I don't know if that's true or not. I used to think it was South Africa and then followed by Nigeria. But apparently Zimbabwe is number one. So I don't know what you're doing to our sisters out there. They're crying because of your sorry asses. So I don't know.
That is not true. Zimbabweans are the nicest people.
I have not had that.
Zimbabweans are the nicest.
Honestly speaking, it was really a big thing. Like, girls were really coming hard on Zimbabwe.
No, I saw several on social media. All the Nigerian ladies were like, Zimbabwean men are the ones. Like, they're really nice.
I don't know. You're the first Zimbabwean guy I know. So.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you can talk. I mean, Zimbabweans were really nice. We're really nice.
Yeah. Kenyan
really
men.
Respectful.
Kenyan men.
How are Kenyan
guys
men?
Who are out there? Niwa Seme.
Oh, wow. What does it
should
mean?
I say? I'm just saying, should I say on you? But ideally, to be honest, when it comes to the dating world, you get your perfect fit. It's always synergy. It's an energy that you feel from someone and you're like, wow, I want to spend the rest of my life with that person. So dating in Europe was fun for me because I was open-minded. I've always been open-minded. I knew what I wanted from the word get-go, right? And so dating for me was really fun. I was, going with the flow. But I know it can be hard on some parents, especially when you're dating a person of color and you take it you take her to the gentleman's family and they're not used to people of color.
Right.
It's a little bit hard for them to accept you. But I've come to realize these are the people who love you the most. Right. So what I would say, be open-minded. Whatever person God puts for you, who respects you and who loves you with their best, go for that person. Indian, white, black, it doesn't matter.
That's beautiful. It doesn't matter what color. Thank you so
much.
Love
has no color.
Love has no color. I love this about you. I really love this about you. So these are just extras. I asked some ladies to ask you questions.
Okay.
And I put it up, and then they've got a few questions for you. So I'm going to go through my phone. They're asking about, how do you know if it's the right guy for me? So the girls are asking, how do I know if it's the right man for me?
Really? How do you know if it's the right man for you?
Yeah.
Okay. It's subjective. That's an answer that is subjective, but there are certain general rules that I think apply to and cut across the whole scene. Does that person respect you? Does that person treat you right? Because you know what? There are red flags that we really do ignore. Because I always say the way you show me yourself, that's the case. If you're sick, is he going to take care of you? If you're in need, is he going to step up? And we tend to ignore the small red flags that are there. And another thing is, again, this is very subjective. I cannot be there to say whether or not is that man right for you, but there are certain rules that you follow. Kindness, humility, love, loyalty, presence, time shared. And another thing that I've come to realize that we don't take advantage of, our parents, mothers know. I have no idea how it is. They have this maternal instinct. Yes. My mom would say,
this guy, not good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would say, Mom, no. Before I know it, you're singing Celine Dion and Toni Braxton, and you have a hugging a teddy bear, and your eyes are red and you're calling him like 100 times, and your mom says, I told you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Must be the Kenyan guys. Jumbo. And also prayer.
Yeah.
Amen.
Prayer. You go on your knees and you ask God if that's a man for you, because he's always going to show you the signs.
That's really beautiful. I love that about you as well, because you're a faithful woman. And
yes, I am.
That's good.
Yeah. Without Christ, I'm nothing.
Really? Wow.
And I'm not even ashamed of saying it.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, share with us your faith. Who is God to you? What does it mean?
God for me is Alpha and Omega.
Right.
I start my day and end my day with God. I don't do anything that does not have God in it. I have done my share of mistakes because I thought I'm better than God. I feel, and this is something that I think we need to speak about. There's a lot of evil going around in the world. Recently, I was watching, for example, the Grammys, and I see Sam Smith dressed in red with the devil and dancing on the stage and performing all these very dubious scenes. I'm a very chill person. I'm a very open person. I enjoy my going out time. I enjoy spending time with my friends. I like a good time. But when you see evil is rampant and on a national stage, and we are celebrating people having sex on stage dressed like the devil, where are we? Yeah. So for me, there's no gray. It's either you're white or you're black. And so I have seen a lot of evil going on. Recently, I was just on a very long flight and I decided to watch a movie, and I wanted to watch Pinocchio. Okay. And Pinocchio is a cartoon. I think we also grew up watching Pinocchio, right? And so I'm watching Pinocchio on Netflix, and so Pinocchio dies and goes to hell. And there's this devil with big boobs and a horn and a tail talking to Pinocchio. It's PG-13. That's what our kids are watching. So for me, it's so much evil going out in the world that I want to protect myself. Because at the end of the day, we're going to die. That's the truth. We're going to be buried.
No, that's right.
Right? We're all going to die, right? Yes. But I do not want to corrupt my soul with these things. And so I hold on my faith.
Come on.
Because I want to be clean. I hold on my faith because this is for me evil. I don't want to be part of that.
Right. That's really deep. So what is the ultimate solution to this? How can we reach a place where we can say, okay, the world is a safe place now?
The world is not going to be a safe place. As a trajectory that the world is taking, safe is not there. Right. Like, I feel like sometimes, like, if you're, it's in the Quran, it's in the Bible, it's it's the end times. You have to make peace with your God. You have to be closer to God. Right. You have to we cannot speak up. What I've realized is that we don't speak up. Chibwe, if you went to my country and someone is robbing you, people walk and leave. Yeah. You're seeing your brother being robbed and you're walking away. Right. Come on. Is that not evil? Instead of being your brother's keeper, you turn your back. Yes. Right? Yeah. When you're hearing your neighbor being beaten, you're like, it's family food, and you leave it. So that's where we have reached, where we've become so egocentric, we've become so self-centered, we've become so self-absorbed. Right. It's a scary time. And so I want white, and I want a beautiful light, and I want peace, and God gives me all that. Wow. He quenches my thirst that human beings cannot quench for me, so Amen. I choose him anytime.
Come on, that's deep. That's really good.
Yeah.
Amen. This is powerful. So what is your favorite Bible verse? I think maybe you can leave that with us.
I wouldn't say favorite Bible verse, but I said the Bible verses that I think I have been holding on to, like their life is Psalm 23 and Psalm 46. Right. And these are the Bible verses that I hold on to because I know God says, number one, He's a gracious God. Right. And He's a God of restoration. Because the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Amen. So I hold on to God because He has already given us as His children promises. So you always have to remind Him, Jehovah, these are the promises you gave to me. Hold on to me, Seek ye the kingdom of God. Yeah? So you always have to hold on to His promises. And that's what I do.
Wow. I believe this is one of the best podcasts, man. I really am grateful. Thank you
because you have a very loud guest.
No. I love this. I mean, we gave you the floor and then you just took it.
Yeah.
So grateful.
Yeah.
Amazing. Last words to anyone out there. What do you want to say? What do you feel like? You've been talking the whole night. So
that I can do.
Yeah, that's good. So let's go. Tell us more.
I think in this world, with everything that's happening to us, don't focus on the past.
Okay.
Don't be worried about the past. What has happened has happened. Don't worry about the future, because I've come to realize we auto-stress ourselves. You're always thinking about things that will not happen or have not happened, and stress yourself. And in Romania we say tenkarci cu nimicuri, tenkarci cu nebunie, tenkarci cu lucrurile care nu trebuie fi încărcate. Like, you put so much pressure on yourself for nothings. Live in the present and live the best. Be happy. We work so hard. Why do we work hard for? We work hard so that we could do what? Work hard. If it's a trip you want to do, take that trip. If it's food you want to do, eat that food. If it's McDonald's, go to McDonald's, because you do not know, especially how volatile right now the world is, what tomorrow brings. We are here today. You don't know if you're there tomorrow. So live in the present and live your best life and be happy.
Wow.
Be kind.
Come on.
Kindness, say thank you, say hello. You know, recently I went to buy, I like sushi box.
Yeah.
Not a sushi box, it's a, what do you call it, a salad box. I don't know, it's trendy things. And this lady was so upset, and I said, I'm not taking this food until you give me a smile.
Come on.
I told her, I'm sorry, I've been nice to you and you're not nice. Give me a smile, otherwise I'm not taking this food. And she was like, I don't smile. And I said, I can see that, and I want a smile.
Right.
And so I stayed there, and they said all sorts of things until she gave me a smile. And that made me feel very happy.
Come on.
A smile goes a long way.
That's true.
Because so many, as I said, we do not understand. It's such a really low time right now in the world with all this negativity. Be kind, it goes a long way.
Come on.
And thank you, Romania, and thank you, Romania, for creating this amazing doctor.
Oh, yeah. What is this in Românește dacă vrei?
Mulțumesc frumos, țara România, vă iubesc.
Ce frumos tu ești. Thank you so much. I mean, how do you stay so motivated? I mean, you're not worried about nothing. You are kind. You're always happy.
I mean,
how do you do it?
Believe me, I am worried a lot. I'm worried about so many things, but I don't let my worries overcome me. I don't let my worries make me a shadow of who I am. Because if I let you right now, Chibwe, my worries take over me, I'm telling you, I'll be now rolling all over your floor.
Right.
So I don't allow that. And you see, when you're positive, every negativity is somehow put down. Yes. And another thing that also helps me a lot is the gym. I love to work out. I love to work out.
See the biceps.
I love to work out, and I think working out makes me in sync with self. And I think if you've not tried it, yoga, Pilates, sala de sport, I walk in average 10 kilometers a day. Wow. In the summertime, I walk in average about 20 kilometers a day. So I keep fit. That's the only thing that keeps me sane.
Wow, that's very easy for you, man, because you're Kenyan. I mean, long distance is your thing.
If I was a long distance runner, I wouldn't have done medicine. I would have been a millionaire right now, drinking milk somewhere. But see, that did not happen.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
I took one picture, one quote from your Instagram, and it says, if you can get easily manipulated by words, then anything and anyone will be able to manipulate you.
Yeah.
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
So what do you want to tell us about people around us? Might be environments. Shall we listen to what people say, or what is your word?
Honestly, with my experience,
come on,
the only person I trust is my mom and my husband. Period. And my mentors. You never know what people's intentions are with you, and you just have to be very careful, because in the beginning they can, people would show like they are good with you, and with time I've come to see it's a human nature, whether you like it or not. Jealousy is a very negative vice that seeps in without even knowing. So before you know, it's something that you guys had built with friendship and love, and everything can turn. So I would always say, give to a certain point. Like, I'm going to allow you to be my friend to a certain point, and I'm going to have boundaries. It's very important to have boundaries with people around you, so that you just avoid that, as I say, hurt. So you have your boundaries, and you know your worth, your value, and that's it. Wow, amazing. Thank you so much once again. Most Jumbo, welcome. How do you say thank you again? Asante sana. Right. And guys, he's a fantastic gentleman. He's very supportive. Listen to his podcast. Support him. Support the talent that's here. We're trying to be good ambassadors to Romania. He's learning his Romanian. So please,
thank you.
Subscribe.